What's up? Um, Forgive my physical state at the moment. I am not feeling well, and I've not slept well, and I'm kind of in a fight mood, if you will. Um, I go through and I follow a lot of like um comic book followers and creators and shit like that on TikTok, and one of them, Impound Comics, which I love his content. I especially love whenever he goes to certain conventions and he'll go, "Can you name 10 comic book characters that start with the letter and then gives you a letter?" And watching some people struggle on some of those is pretty hilarious. Um, Anytime those come up, I always hit pause on there and I try to come up with my 10 first and then see which ones I missed whenever they do theirs. And it's funny how I miss so many obvious ones, but I'll take a full left turn and go over here. There's one. Um, but today's I'm gonna borrow his setup, not his comments for it, but just his setup. Um, because I think it's something that needs to kind of be addressed. Anyway, here's what I'm talking about. On here, they're saying, can Team Marvel of Spider Man, Captain America, Wolverine, and this is Black Panther just under his face. There he is. Take on the DC team of, let me get out of the way, Batman, Deathstroke, Nightwing, and Red Hood. And let me tell you something. I find it funny that this is even in question. Um, he goes on to say that he thinks Wolverine can solo them all, Black Panther can. Um, he's just like, there's no one on Team DC can really stand it. It's not gonna happen. They don't have the power to do it. And I put on my comment on there that said, not only can every single person on Marvel solo it, but the fact that Cap can solo them is hilarious. And this guy goes, "You're delusional if you think Cap can solo them." I'm like, all right, this is a certain point in time where you really kind of have to take your fandom and throw it out the window and just pay attention. That doesn't make you a bad fan of those characters. It doesn't make you a fan that um, you're a traitor to that fan because you can't sit there and say, "Oh well, I have to say that Batman wins because Batman's my favorite character, and if I say that Batman doesn't win, then that means that I'm betraying Batman." No, it doesn't. It's called you being realistic. Because let's be honest, if you have again this team of Batman, Deathstroke, Nightwing, and Red Hood versus Spider Man, Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Panther, there isn't a single person on that Marvel team that cannot solo them. Okay? That's just all there is to it. Spider Man, if you pay attention to any of the death battle stuff, which I particularly love, um, there was one where it was Spider Man versus Batman. Batman doesn't stand a chance. Not a single chance. Because there's no gadget that Batman could come up with that can outdo Spider Man's spider sense. That's the X factor. If for whatever reason Spider Man doesn't have his web shooters, he sets off an EMP, oh well, guess what? Spider Man can still get in there and whoop Batman's ass. He doesn't need web shooters to do it. Now, granted, I'm talking from someone who's a fan of both ends of this. And the constant over glorifying certain characters has got to stop, because this is where you start getting into the realm of you have such a gaslighting, gatekeeping, toxic fan base that other people are afraid to get into the medium, and y'all need to knock it off with your over fandom bullshit. You really, really do. Um, there was one where it was Deadpool versus Deathstroke, and Deadpool wins. That's how that goes. Um, there was another death battle that they had where it was Superman versus Goku, and holy shit, the amount of pissed off weebs was hilarious. I'm going. I don't know anything about Dragon Balls. I don't watch it. I I swear to God, sometimes the more popular shit is, the more I can't stand it, and I just go, nope, I'm out. Because you're gonna run into shit like this where people just have a hard time going, all right, that makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense. It's just like when there was one of these that he did impound where he goes, hey, who would win in a random encounter between Batman and Daredevil? And I'm pretty sure I talked about this before, but they're saying that Batman wins 9 to 10 times, 8 to 10 times, and I'm going, no, he doesn't. Because what do you do when your flashbangs don't work? What do you do when your smoke screens don't work? What do you do when you try to throw a punch and the way Daredevil's hearing is explained now is that he can hear your muscle fibers tensing as he goes to punch you? So if he knows a punch is coming, how are you going to get rid of it? How are you going to get around this clairvoyance that he has? Now, granted, between those two, I like Batman way more than I like Daredevil. But you have to go where the power sets are. It doesn't make you a bad fan. What makes you a bad fan is just standing on Batman and going, nope, Batman. Batman always wins. Batman always wins. All right, let's go ahead and get one thing straight. And this is where I think, especially when it comes to this, that everybody gets sort of their minds not in the correct spots. With this team of Batman, Deathstroke, Nightwing, and Red Hood, every single one of them is a regular human except for Deathstroke. He has enhanced abilities, not super abilities, but enhanced. Enhanced gets overshot by super. Just like if you have X-Men who have enhanced mutant powers, they have super mutant powers, and then you have Omega level mutant powers. You have to understand the power sets. So when it comes to this, every single person on the Marvel team between Spider-Man, Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Panther can take on all four of them. Most of them all at the same time. Because riddle me this. What do any of those four DC characters have that could stop Wolverine? I'll wait. Oh, that's right. Not a fucking thing. Nightwing has a couple of sticks, just like Daredevil. Red Hood has some guns. What are you gonna do? Hit an organ and then run? He's gonna sniff you out and find you, and then you're done. What does Batman have? Is he gonna freeze him? All right. Well, Wolverine will just sit there and pop his claws. Ice is broken. Then what? He'll tie him up, pop his claws, cut that shit. Then what? There is not a single person on the Marvel foursome that they were talking about that would have a problem with any person on the DC team. The closest fight, and I'm sorry, the absolute closest fight between all 8 of these characters is Deathstroke versus Cap. Period. Everything else, everybody just gets slaughtered. They get dog walked. They get fucking put into a state of, so what was your plan? What were you really going to do? And it's this overarching sense that a lot of these fans really need to understand that you gatekeeping like this, when someone throws logic back in your face, I, I was like, it's cute that you think any one of these four has a chance against any one of the Marvel four. It's not gonna happen. Even if you have Black Panther out of his suit, guess what? He still has superpowers from the herb he ingests. We know that from the goddamn movies. You can't just go, hold on, wait for him to poop, and then we'll beat his ass. That's not how it works. It's okay to have your favorites. It's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with having your favorites. There ain't nothing wrong with defending your favorites. But if you are so blind to your favorites that you cannot get over the fact that your three not enhanced at all and your one enhanced can get past four supers, you're out of your fucking mind. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. That's how that shit goes. You're out of your fucking mind. And you should probably go find something else to get involved in, because if you can't approach something logically and be almost welcoming of other people's objections and then just go, you're wrong. That's like going, nuh-uh, dumb. If you know anything about debate, the moment you start taking personal attacks and doing name callings, you've already what? Right, you've already lost. You just can't. You cannot sit there and have such a strong stance that you're just oblivious to natural facts. That'd be like saying you like poison ivy, okay? And then you have Swamp Thing. Who wins between those two? It's kind of hard to tell, in all honesty, because Swamp Thing is almost literally the exact embodiment of the green, which is the thing that controls all plant life. And what does poison ivy do? Controls plant life. So you could almost argue that poison ivy doesn't really stand a chance because you have someone who controls plant life and then one who is the embodiment of the god of plant life. She's like, "Oh, you control them? That's cute. I am them. So if you think you're going to tell them what to do, I'm going to just control them and go, no, they're not." But that doesn't make Poison Ivy a bad character. That doesn't make Swamp Thing an overpowered character. And again, these are characters that I don't really have a whole lot of stake in. Don't really care. But even if you took Deathstroke out of this foursome, and what you add in instead is the entire Bat family, if that's what you add in, damn it, no matter what, these guys are still taking the W 100 times out of 100. You take the entire Bat family, all of them, Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, The Signal, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, Batwoman, Batman. Take the entire goddamn Bat family. Even throw Alfred in there for all I care. Throw in all. They're still not going to win a single fight ever for any reason. I would love for someone to try and convince me that somehow these four lose to the entire Bat family. Oh, that's better. But it's not going to happen. And it's not that I favor these guys over the others. I don't really do a whole lot of Black Panther. I don't really do a whole lot of Cap. And I don't really give a shit about Wolverine anymore. Out of the four of them, Spider-Man's my go. And on the other screen, when you get to here, come on, Batman's the only one to give a shit about any of these four. But no, there's no way you can have any solid argument that those four lose. Hell, even throw Deathstroke in there with the Bat family. Throw in Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins. Those four are still not losing. I'm sorry, but they're not. Wolverine will go, I got the old guy and all his little lackeys. You guys take care of the rest. They're not getting through Wolverine. I mean, that's the end of the debate right there. If you take any of the other characters and you say, well, Cap has his shield. If he throws his shield and it doesn't come back, then he's defenseless. Have you seen that motherfucker fight to get back to his shield? And I'm pretty sure if there's like, well, it's 4 versus 13. I guess the first thing I'm going to do is yeet my shield into him. No. Cap's too smart for that. I just... I guess it just comes down to... I would much rather have a debate with someone to go, okay, convince me. Just don't tell me I'm wrong and that's where you stand. Convince me. Convince me the entire Bat family plus Deathstroke could take out those four. Convince me. How can it happen? How? Because I'm telling you now, it can't. Under no circumstances does that happen at all, period, ever. It doesn't. Not even once. Because I could do this all day. When he was a scrawny pipsqueak getting the shit beat out of him, now he's just... Guess what? He's going to be there. Even when he got a busted ass shield and he's sitting there trying to get some help. Hey, Steve, on your left. He was like, everybody else is down. Someone's got to stand up and fight. I'm going to stand up and fight. And then Black Panther, anything that hits him turns into kinetic energy that he just wipes. Black Panther could still Ra's al Ghul in the entire fucking League of Assassins. Get out of here. Throw Wolverine in there. It's like, this way we wrap it up faster, bub. It's like, all right, let's do this. And then they go. I mean, in no world is there any way that this is an L for anybody on the Marvel side. Shit. Wolverine could be asleep and you still ain't gonna beat him. Black Panther could be straight out the shower. You ain't gonna beat him. None of those four are gonna beat him straight out the shower. Not gonna happen. Prove me wrong. Debate it. But I don't see how at all. So don't be so beholden to your own shit that you just completely dismiss, especially considering I think a lot of people are like, well, you just don't like. That's not the case at all. Because I'll tell you what. I've been reading the Absolutes lately. And the Absolute Batman, the Absolute Wonder Woman, and Absolute Superman, actually. So the DC trilogy, they have a lot more. Here, let me show you something real quick. Batman, 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 Batman. This, by the way, is my comic book inventory, just in case you didn't know. I mean, it says it right here. Batman, Batman, Batman. Ooh, look at all the Batman Detective Comics. Ooh, look at Batman Volume 1. Where's the most recent run? It's up here. I did a rebirth because that's where it started, but I got the entire run. And let's go to Europe. Superman, 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 and it's done. That's it. It's all the Superman I got. And then let's go Wonder Woman. And that's it. Not even, well, maybe just a little bit more than a full page of Wonder Woman books, but still nowhere near the depth as I have for Batman. And I will tell you this, the absolute Superman and the absolute Wonder Woman stories are leaps and bounds above the absolute Batman. I don't know what happened with Scott Snyder on these, but it is, in my opinion, thus far, the worst Batman story he has ever written. Maybe I need to kind of give it a little bit more, but yeah, no, it's not good, not good at all. I'm just I read through the first three just to be like, all right, I got through them. But Kelly Thompson and Jason Aaron writing the Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Superman respectively, fantastic. You want another good Jason Aaron run that actually surprised the shit out of me? The recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run. Holy hell. Not since this big bastard here have I enjoyed a Turtles comic. This was incredible. And it's still my favorite Turtles story. And I did read the first 10 issues by Eastman and Laird, but no, the latest one, I swear, it's gotten to the point to where, for the most part, if there's a certain author or artist that pops in on a book, I'm gonna pick it up. I don't have any here close by because I didn't think I'd be doing any type of comic reviews. Just to, I don't want to say extend this anymore, but Gail Simone started writing the latest X-Men. I've been reading that, and I used to have a decent amount of X-Men comics, and I sold them all. I've been pulling in X-23, which, in case you say, no, I haven't been, there you go. Gail Simone. Uncanny X-Men run. I've been trying to get them as cheap as I can, just because for the most part, I don't really like the X-Men anymore. When Hickman tried to redo it when it was the House of X and the Powers of X, or Powers of 10 or House of 10, whatever the fuck it was, I couldn't get behind it, man. I was like, okay, starting over. They're doing a whole, nope, they didn't start over nothing. You still got to know what the hell's going on. It's the only comic book series I have ever come across that, if you truly want to know what is happening, what's going on, and what's with each character, you must start from the very first issue back in 1967 and go all the way to current. It's the only way you can. And sometimes you might have to go to X Force or X Factor to understand some other things. Thank God you don't go to Excalibur. Blech. Never owned a single issue of that, never will. But it gets to the point to where you have to know all of it. Because I remember I was getting excited about it. I'm like, all right, let's get about 4 issues deep on both of these, because you have to read House and then Powers and then Powers and then House, one way or the other, but you have to keep going back and forth between them. And I want to say it was about issue 3 for whichever one you had to start with. And they start talking about, well, this is what was going on before with all this other kind of stuff. And then even reading this stuff with Gail Simone, like, oh yeah, Krakoa was a failure, which was what Hickman was starting to put into effect. And I'm going, whatever happened to hard reset, man? Where did that go? Like, X-Men to me is just such a mess when it comes to any type of storytelling. If you are not following along from one issue to the next, you do not have a clue what is happening, because they'll have their little reference points, or they'll talk about, remember whenever we were over here, and they're like, oh, here's a little reference point. Make sure to check out X-Men Comic 145 from the 80s. Come on, man. It's 2025. The references should not be that far back. The references should be self-contained within that story arc or that run. Sorry, I can feel the snot building. I'm going to try and make it real quick now. But when you have all of these points to where if you have to go back, that's like saying you can't enjoy a Spider-Man book. Yeah, the hell you can. Because almost every single volume release of Spider-Man, of which there have been, we're on 6. We're on 6. I want to say the third one is the one where Peter creates this Parker Industries and becomes like a fucking millionaire, and then at 4 he fucks it all up and is lost. And then at 5 he's still trying to. It's one of those to where you don't need to read those to have any idea what the hell's going on. You don't have to. You just go, okay, this is what's happening now. Off we go. Like, why can't we have more shit like that, man? For real. Because as you can see, this is volume 1. And for the most part, from 179 to current, I have every issue. I've read a good majority of them. I will say that I think this was the one that was done by Otley. And Otley is one of my favorite artists, even though he does suffer very, very heavily from same face. But I don't think there's anybody that can draw monsters better than him. And then this one is the one that started where fucking John Romita Jr., man. Ugh. I was talking to guys at the comic shop a couple days ago, and I said, look, here's the thing. I will always give John Romita Jr. credit for being able to create like an environment. The environment that he draws is always incredible. Planet Hulk and World Breaker Hulk were the prime thing of it, but every fucking face looks the same. Hulk's face looks the same as J. Jonah Jameson's face, which looks the same as Mary Jane's face. Like, bro, come on. And for someone who is as much of an icon as he is in the comics industry, one person that honestly needs to just drop the drawing markers is Frank Miller. I'm sorry, but your work has been trash for the last 10 years. There's not a single thing that you have drawn that does not look terrible. I mean, it. Oh. Let's see. See if I can pull this up because it was horrible. Come on. Don't take too damn long. Don't piss me off. I wasn't 3. But you know, Frank Miller's the one that came up with Dark Knight Returns and wrote that whole thing. Okay, like look. What the fuck is this? Oh, that's not even him. Hold on. It's in here somewhere. Good old comic book realm always helps you find the covers you're wanting to get a hold of. Where are you? There's this horrible, absolutely horrible looking Wonder Woman cover. It is truly, truly just bad. It better not. I was going to say, it better not be. No. Is it 1? Oh, don't tell me it's 1 because there's so many of these covers in one. That's a bad one. Like, what the fuck is this? Everything about this is terrible. That's one of them, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Oh, don't have it be a number 1. Son of a bitch, it probably is. Please don't have it be too far down in the exclusives. No, it can't be a number 1 because that was his, which again, like, does Batman have scoliosis? What is this? What is this? God damn it. Hold on. Let me do this another way. Frank Miller, Wonder Woman, Dark Knight cover. There it is. Look at this horrific shit. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? How do you have an old man baby in the back? How is your head detached? Like, this is just horrible. Here's another one where it just like, what is this? I it I saw this number 4 1 in 100. It's got to be one of these. There it is. $140 for that piece of shit. You couldn't pay me $140 to take it. It is horrific. And this was holy shit, this was 2016? Bro, yeah, stop. Cuz he just did one, Frank Miller Red Hulk cover. This is one that just came out. No, don't open up Reddit. What is this? What is this? And a lot of his covers recently have been all like top views like this. Like this is just I can't. I can't. Um Now, that being said, this one is one of the few John Romita Jr. covers that I actually thought was hilarious. It's just funny as hell to me. You have Cyborg sitting there just blasting through there, Wonder Woman blasted through there, Aquaman blasted through there, Green Lantern blasted through there, Flash probably just taking it easy, Batman squatting down, holding on for dear life, and Superman's just casually fucking around flying. It's hilarious. That is one of the few covers of his in recent years, and I went, I'm all right with that. That was kind of good. I like that one. But there's not many after that. And if I can ever get to the point to where I have access to all of my books, I'm gonna do a lot more shit of here's some cool covers or here's some shit covers and here's ones that I bought are just hilarious or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's me done ranting for the day about this shit. Um, I'll just boils down to let's not be douchebags in our fandom and let's actually allow people in. I can give you recommendations for books to read. If you don't like them, hey, that's okay. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Some I think you might be sleeping on, but if it's not your thing, it's not your thing, and so we just move on. Um, that's just how that goes, you know. Different strokes for different folks, and different folks take different strokes. So yeah, I'm done rambling. Hope you guys are doing well. And what's a fandom that you guys have tried to get into that the fans pretty much turned you away from the moment you tried? Let me know. Take care. Be safe.